to the afternoon entertainment hour at OJ's Juice Bar, and here's today's juice.
Listen to OJ's Juice Bar, Sundays at 4 p.m. on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
The Third City Podcast is a production of Third City Coalition. In our show, we examine case studies in urban development in Stockton and other cities like Stockton across the country, exploring their local and regional impacts. Individual efforts play a role in Third City development, and it starts with you.
Want to talk politics? Tune in every Sunday at 5 p.m. as Don Mazuski and Dustin Breakville give you the latest news.
Alongside our political analyst, Professor Syrian Villavicencion and Tamer Sakari.
I can hear you loud and clear, Governor.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
On Politics Panoramic.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Marcellus.
This is your girl Ronnie.
It's Tim Hawley.
And Al X.
And we're coming at you with the KXVS
Morning Show.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
KXVS on 92.1. Coming soon.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Julie Dameron, local veterinarian for over 20 years. I am so excited about my new radio show, Tales and Tips, on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Voice of Stockton, and KXVS Radio. I will discuss relevant issues affecting animals and pet owners today, how to avoid common problems, and how to extend the quality of life for your cherished companions. As a community advocate, I will also discuss important social issues that affect our city. I plan to showcase organizations and heroes who are doing amazing things to help others. Remember to tune in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
Attention, Stockton. Are you experiencing a transition in business, relationships, health, or your life purpose? I'm Darius Oliver, and I help people to look within and find clarity and direction in their constantly changing lives. Tune in and listen with me as I go deep into your patterns and personal cycles through divine numerology. Any life transition you're experiencing can be illuminated by an in-depth analysis of your chart. For the first time in Stockton, you now have access to a professional numerologist here to help you light your own way. I'm in the booth to help you find your own truth. Tune in to Divine Numerology every Friday at 3 p.m. on The Voice of Stockton.
Sit in the hot seat and keep it real with Alyssa Love.
Whether you're talking about your love life, past and current friendships, fashion trends, juicy stories, hot topics, food, entertainment, the list is endless.
But what it comes down to,
can you keep it real with Alyssa Love?
Thursday nights starting at 8:05 p.m. on KXVS 92.1 FM, the voice of Stockton.
Welcome to the afternoon entertainment hour at OJ's Juice Bar, and here's today's juice.
Listen to OJ's Juice Bar, Sundays at 4 p.m. on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
KXVS, the voice of Stockton, live. The voice of Stockton at Stone Soup Studio. KXVS.org.
Welcome to the Sunday afternoon special. On a Sunday, the Vigil show. And here's my guest is Ted Gonzales. And he's from the Mexican American Human Rights Organization today. Thanks for coming. And also Stephen Bojorques. He'd also be discussing about Access Center. So welcome. I'm glad you came on your Sunday afternoon. I know you'll be part of the family, but I would like to thank you for coming and welcome. So please tell me, what is your organization based on?
Well, it's based on the need. We have a need in Stockton and San Joaquin County for a voice for the Mexican American peoples or farm workers and the low-income Hispanic. The Mexican American Human Rights Organization started back in 1983 when Ted Gonzales confronted the then president of San Joaquin Delta College, Rico, to debate him on the issue of starting tuition at a community college. And we fought against discrimination, not just for the students, but for the teachers as well. So that was the first campaign, and we fought really hard. We picked up 3,000 signatures, and we confronted then Governor Duke Mason to come on down and debate, but neither the president of the college nor the governor came down to debate. But I can tell you proudly that Senator Garamendi showed up, and it was a great turnout, and this was the beginning of the Mexican American Human Rights Organization. We also want to throw a shout out to Senor Richard Lopez and the families of the late Richard Lopez and Jose Correa, who were the original leaders of the San Joaquin Mexican American Human Rights Commission, which began in the 1950s. And we do this Mexican American Human Rights Organization in memory of the elders Dolores Huerta, Jose Correa, Richard Lopez, and my father, Rudy Gonzales, who are all farm workers and know what it is to struggle, and the farm worker struggle that continues to happen today out in the fields.
So how did the Mexican American Heritage Right Organization, I'm going to give an acronym, MAHRO, started?
Well, we started back in the 1940s with the GI Forum, when we had during World War II, we had a soldier who was flown back from the front lines, and he wanted to be buried at the local cemetery. There were some lawsuits, and these lawsuits went all the way up to the Supreme Court. We won, and the private was buried in Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C., and this all began the Mexican American Human Rights Civil Rights Movement, and I'm proud to be part of that. And we do believe strongly that Martin Luther King Jr. and Cesar Chavez were on the same channel. And this is relevant because of what's going on in Charlottesville, South Carolina, and the Black Lives Matters movement, and it's really important that we as the elders are teaching the youth that we do have a right to dissent and protest, and so we have a right in this country to march and to let our opinions be heard, especially at the Stockton City Council meeting and all public meetings. We're allowed to speak, and so we do march for those who cannot march. We do speak for those Stocktonians that are not able to come out and speak. We speak for justice, and we ask for fair treatment of all Stocktonians here in the city of Stockton and San Joaquin County. We began with a protest against tuition. We continue to protest on the unfair treatment of the low income and farm workers. We continue to protest against domestic violence. This is Domestic Violence Month, and we are helping our women, and the abuse continues. So there is a need for the Mexican American Human Rights Organization to continue to collaborate with others to let it be known that we will not be silenced. We will not be silenced. We will continue to voice our opinion at the city council meetings, the county supervisor meetings, and Stockton Unified School District. And that's how we all got started. Our goals at the Mexican American Human Rights Organization is education, housing, employment, and self-sufficiency for all peoples who come to the office. If you're in need of help, please come to the office. At this time, I would like to thank Betty Ramirez for giving us a chance to come on the program. We want to thank our good friend, Julie Dameron Brown, who's always ready to help the Mexican American Human Rights Organization. We thank Senor Richard Rios, and we thank the Council for the Spanish Speaking for helping our community get noticed here in California, and if not, throughout the country.
Oh wow! So what have the MAHO Moral been doing lately?
Well, we've been working really hard. You know, we had a young person, a young child, 3 years old, that was murdered in a drive-by, and we were out and we supported the parents. It was very sad. We are doing meetings with the anti-gang movement, and we are going out currently to the Stockton Unified School District schools. We want to thank at this moment Taylor. We want to thank Tyler. We want to thank August School and Washington School, because we were able to go out and speak to the parents about civil rights and domestic violence. We were able to go out and do our presentations in English and in Spanish and reach out to the parents to let them know that there is places in Stockton that can help you. If you're scared, if you don't want to go to the police department, you can come to the Mexican American Human Rights Organization and get service. All the services are free. We also collaborated with Semillas and Project Voice in order to open our Fair Oaks Library, which Mayor Tubbs said no 5 times. He said no, there's no money. All of a sudden, money appeared magically, and so now the Fair Oaks Library is open. And I want to thank, personally, I want to thank Stephen Bojorques, who we marched together and we worked really hard. We collected those signatures. Some of you people out here listening to me, some of you signed. I want to thank you, because the east side of Stockton will not be forgotten, will not be swept under the rug. There's no way. We have too many people, and we need that library for our community. We also want to let everyone know that both I and other members in the organization flew down to Los Angeles in order to march for the impeach Mr. Trump affair. We were greeted with paper balls, and people were yelling at us. They didn't want us there. But when I looked around and I saw 14,000 people march and greet us and tell us how proud they were that Stockton, California was there marching against this person who's in the White House. And we marched with the Churla of Los Angeles, and the senator got up and he spoke. He asked for the resignation of Mr. Trump, along with City Councilman Lee from Los Angeles. This is not a joke. This is self-realization. There's bigotry and there's racism, and it's flowing really good. And we have a lot of hate groups now in California where we didn't have but 2 or 3. Now we have 20. You know, who's doing this? So we're against that. And I also wanted to let you know that we also want to thank Western Farm Workers, where I was teaching English as a second language. And so we have been busy in the community. We will continue to finish off this year by doing 2 meetings, one on the 14th of November at the Roosevelt School, and then on the 12th at Grunsky School at 8 o'clock in the morning for the parents, and it is open to the public. If you would like to come and participate, it's really important. Please, if you're listening to the radio station, let's get active in the community. Don't let the people downtown know that we will not be apathetic to what's happening in our town, in our community.
Wow. Well, okay. Well, let me ask. Okay. Well, that is totally that we need those voice, that people cannot hear that voice. And Stephen, in your opinion, what do you think about the city? To get off the topic about the temple in Victory Park. So tell me what's been happening there. I know that I think you at the city council meeting discussed about that. So what's been happening on that?
Right. Normally, I go to the city council meetings to represent the Native American community here in Stockton, and then I find myself representing many Native Americans throughout the San Joaquin Valley. There's over 100 tribes in family groups here in Stockton. As far as the totem pole is concerned in Victory Park, just to give you a little history lesson, first of all, that the pole first appeared, I believe, in the 1930s and 40s. And then after that, it was placed into Victory Park. It was then had to be repainted in the 1980s. And then in 1999, it had to be taken down because it was just falling apart. Weather beating, termites, and just basically getting old. And for security reasons, for safety reasons, they took down the pole in 1999. It was originally a totem pole from the Tlingit tribe of the Alaskan tribes of the Native Americans. So it was a handmade, authentic Native American totem pole. So what I'm trying to do, and thanks to the help and the good graces of Christina Fagazi, the city councilwoman, who's been outstanding. She's done an outstanding job in the city council. She really is truly a voice of the people here in Stockton, down to earth. And she came to me and she says, it'd be really great to have someone of Native American descent, a tribal roll number, someone who's been involved in the community, to actually produce or find an authentic handmade Native American totem pole made by a Native American. So I stepped forward and I said, I think I can pull a rabbit out of a hat. And so I'm in the process of doing exactly that.
Okay.
Trying to find a totem pole, a handmade Native American totem pole. It's going to take a minute, but probably a year. But as long as we stay on top of it, we keep our feet to the fire with City Council and the Parks and Recreation and with the Arts Commission. The Arts Commission has really stepped up and done their part to help us out and to come together as a community to try and put back the Native American totem pole back to Victory Park.
Awesome, that's wonderful. So you have to really be on top of it, the city council and the city manager as well.
Right.
Okay, okay. Now, you asked me at the beginning of this the show what Native Americans think about Trump.
What do Native Americans think about Trump? And then they gave the microphone to me. Okay.
Yes.
What Native Americans feel and think about Donald Trump. To make a long story short, too late, most Native Americans, regardless what tribe they belong to, from east to west, north and south, always believe that and have always believed that Donald Trump is in fact a fascist, totalitarian dictator. He's basically a racist, a male chauvinist, coherently a male chauvinist, and really doesn't care about the masses, the people. He cares about the rich, the super rich, and of course himself. So basically he's really in it for the money and the power. And like any other person who has money and power, they always want the same thing, and even more of it. They want more money, more power. So we, the Native American people, really don't think he knows what he's doing. He's definitely not an environmentalist. He's definitely not or support or like minorities, specifically the Mexican Americans or the Puerto Ricans or black African Americans. He just seems to want to put up that wall that is totally, in my opinion, humble opinion, is wrong. Putting up a wall in South America and south of the border is wrong, especially when you've got people from another tribe, specifically the white race, who's shooting and killing unarmed black people and shooting and killing unarmed Mexican people. And 97% of all the shooters, of all the schoolyard shooters, are white Anglo men. The shooter who did that horrible shooting in Las Vegas, he was a white guy. So before Donald Trump points the finger at south of the border, he may want to look over his left shoulder and take a look in his own backyard of his own people before he does something like that. Many Native Americans feel that he's way off base, and he's definitely not of the people, for the people, and by the people. He is not worthy to have the title of President of the United States. He won by college electoral. He did not win by the majority. The majority of people voted for Hillary Clinton. So those are the facts, and that's why I stick by. This is not defamation of character. It's not slander, because it's the truth. That's what Donald Trump is, in my humble opinion and in my judgment. So that's what Native Americans, the majority of Native Americans, feel about Donald Trump.
Okay, so now, I believe that you also have an Aztec Center that you want to talk about. That I'm sure a lot of people are not aware of that. So can you explain what that?
Sure. The Aztec Center really started this year alone. It's really almost both one and the same thing with the Mexican American Human Rights Organization. We work together well together, so it's encompassing of all people. We want, and it's not just a black and white thing. We want to help everybody, because we've noticed that when it comes to poverty, there doesn't seem to be any segregation. I mean, a lot of people, black, white, red, brown, yellow. Times are hard. Times are really, really hard right now. So anything helps, really. Anything really, really helps. So the Aztec Center and the Mexican American Human Rights Organization have been working hand in hand to help the Mexicans, the blacks, the whites, the Asians, the gay and lesbian community. We're out to help farm workers. We're out to help Native Americans. We're out to help women who have been abused. So basically, that's what we're here for.
Okay, awesome. So, is there any way they could contact you, the Native Center, after if it's combined with?
It's combined. Okay, it's combined. We've discovered that when you combine organizations, it's cheaper. It's so much cheaper. There's less cost going into your office and into your program when you're sharing resources and space. So
okay. Okay, now I'm gonna move back to Ted. Thank you for your native stock. I'm glad that doing something about the Victory Park Tempting Pole, which is a good thing. Why do we feel it's necessary to have the Mexican American Human Rights Organization?
Well, before I answer that question, I want to just mention, what is our purpose? Our purpose at the Mexican American Human Rights Organization is that we exist to create paths and opportunities for those seeking greater self-sufficiency, independence, and dignity through education, housing, employment, and other services.
I know that I'm sorry for cutting you off, but there was something on my mind that a lot of people want to know that the Mexican American Human Rights Organization, do they help immigration, anything like that, service?
I am a former immigration consultant, so some questions I can't answer, but most questions or paperwork must be done in a professional way, and we seek to see what is the most economical way to help our people who have immigration questions. Our best person that we like is Ms. Fernanda Pereira, who's an attorney at law, and most of our cases we sent there. If not, and if Dario Vasquez can help them, we send them to Mr. Vasquez here in Stockton, who's I was been collaborating also with him for years, and he's an excellent person, and so is Fernanda. Okay. And getting back to your question, is that we're out to educate the community on civil rights, 1964, and the IRCA Act of 1986 and its anti-discrimination.
Hold on, what, you say IRCA?
IRCA.
Oh, IRCA, okay. What does that stand for, that acronym, right?
Immigration Reform and Control Act, 1986, or Amnesty, as a lot of people know it, and its anti-discrimination provisions that are in this law. Okay. We feel that it's necessary because what's going on throughout the country. We want to also send our condolences out at this moment to our brothers and sisters in Santa Rosa and north of Santa Rosa who have suffered the calamity, the big fire. A lot of people are homeless. The death count continues at 25. Many persons are missing, and we'll be praying for them. Since the fire started, we have been praying for them. Part of my roots with the human rights organization started there at California Human Development Corporation, and we're praying for all those friends and brothers and sisters that are there are safe. We know that the president doesn't care. We know that he hasn't even mentioned the tragedy that happened with all these fires in California. So we stand with the people. We believe in California. We believe in Stockton, California, and we're proud to be members of our community. We feel that it's necessary because a lot of people are apathetic of what's going on in this town. We are not. We are going to bring issues such as homelessness, the depression that's going on in Stockton, the prostitution, the crime, high crime rate, the gangs, all these problems, these social problems. We're going to bring them up at the City Hall, and we're going to ask for action, because I haven't seen any action since the current mayor has taken power. It looks like there's 15 from the last time I counted, there's 15% more homelessness now than there was before. There's more camps. There's more people walking around. They start out at 11 o'clock and they walk till 4 or 5 in the morning, and they're entering these homes that are vacant, and they're taking in their drugs. And then prostitution is expanding instead of shrinking, is expanding. And we have more police, but we see more action on Wilson Way at Harding Way. And we're asking that for the city council and the mayor, if you're listening, please, we need some help down there on District 4, especially on Wilson Way. We have young girls out there, and human trafficking is just going at a very fast level. A lot of girls out there, and there's a lot of dope being circulating in the neighborhood. There's needles at KFC. There's heroin needles at the O'Reilly, and the neighbors are complaining. I'm sorry. The neighbors are complaining. They're asking that I send this message out to the Stockton City Council. Something needs to be done, council member. Okay, and you know who I'm talking about. For District 4, we ask that something be done. We feel it's necessary, again, because we need to help our brothers and sisters. We need to help our Native brothers and sisters, our white brothers and sisters. There's so much homeless. There's so much people who need work. We are a job referral service as well. We don't charge. We're free. Okay, we are free at 1632 East Harding Way, the Aztec Center. Okay, some of the services that we are providing are that we are helping with domestic violence. We're telling the girls where they need to go, where to get help. Some of them are going through divorce. Some of them are silent on what's going on at the home front. We're also doing interpretation and translations for the Spanish speaking. We're doing documentation. We're doing job referrals. We're doing civil rights and human rights. And we're doing English as a second language in classes. We're teaching and we're helping our community, and we are looking for volunteers.
Okay. So tell me is when somebody apply, the volunteer apply, what the activity do you want them to help with?
Well, depending on their skills, we have an interview, and we see where they can fit. Most people that do come to the volunteer center or to the Aztec Center are looking for employment, and they come and they volunteer. And when the jobs come through, we set them up, we train them on how to interview, we fix them a resume and prepare them to re-enter the workforce. We are a strong believer in union jobs. We are a strong believer in the middle class, and we don't want jobs that don't have benefits. We want jobs that have benefits for Stockton. We want Stockton to be able to breathe, to be able to buy a house one day. We want crime to go down. There's too many parolees walking around downtown Stockton, over 3,000 of them. Crime is up. We have high crime areas. We ask that the mayor please show us the plan that you have to lower crime. We're tired of picking on Police Chief Eric Jones. We want to see what the mayor has to do, or what's he going to do to improve our town. We want to see some improvement, but we're not seeing it. And we know that the elders, we have got to step up. The elders have got to step up and help our youth. We have many hundreds of young men walking around lost. And I want to thank Bob over there at Stockton Ministries over there on Sutter and First Street. I want to thank him for all the work that he's done over the course of years, many years. And he's well respected in our community, and I appreciate what he's doing in our town. And I appreciate the peacekeepers as well. But we need to keep working on it. We need to keep working on our youth. And if you're not out in our community being active, please, we do need volunteers. We like to have you, even elderly. We want elderly to come out, and we have room to train. We have room to put you to work if you like, or you can just come by and have coffee with us. We're ready to be active and activate others and teach others what does it mean to be active in this community. So at this time, I do want to thank a couple of our members on our board of directors, Mr. Anthony Coronado in San Diego. We want to thank Cruz Palmas in Lakewood, California, and Rita Pacheco in Pacoima. We know that this broadcast will be going down to Southern California, down to San Isidro. From there, it will go to Phoenix, Arizona. I want to say hello to all my friends in Phoenix and Miami, Florida. We're going to be seeing you soon. So I want to thank you for listening, and thank Doug Vigil and 92.1 FM for this opportunity that he gave us. And Doug is also a very active person in our community, and he's volunteering time to work with the immigrants. So thank you, Doug. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much thank you for everything that you have done for our community, and as well as Steven, that being collaborative. I think that's an awesome, combined thing that I think people need to hear those real stuff, because a lot of the research are not that people don't hear much about, and this is a good for the Mexican and Indian actor to go and to be heard and what that. And before we go, I would like to you brought some other youthful guests that want to represent. Okay.
Yes. I'm really proud to introduce to you today one of the members of the Mexican American Human Rights Organization, and he's 20 years old, and his name is Mr. Efrain Ayala.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Efrain Ayala. I was born and raised and educated here in Stockton. I went to Franklin High School and Perspective. I was walking down Harding and I saw a sign. It said the Aztec Center. Mr. Ted Gonzales is doing great things in our community, and he believes in pride in family, pride in culture, pride in self, just like me. At that moment, I decided to volunteer with the Mexican American Human Rights Organization. I'm learning about civil rights, activists, outreach, and our mission statement is we exist to create paths and opportunities for those seeking great self-sufficiency through independence and dignity, education and employment, housing, and other services. With Mexican American Human Rights Organization started many years ago, and Mr. Ted Gonzales, a Chicano activist student at San Joaquin Delta College, Stockton, began working with students' rights with the
Mr. Dollar, can you
institution.
Can you keep your hat? Because nobody cannot see you. You have your hat kind of. Okay. All right, no problem. Go ahead.
Okay. In closing, I would like to say thank you to Doug Vigils and Senor Ted Gonzales for teaching me about having good morals and character. And I would like to give a shout out to my mom, since I'm here in the
KXVS.
Yeah.
A radio station. Look, your mom should be proud of you now. Just helping out in the community, volunteering, doing work. I mean, that is a parent that also needs to be proud, that want to help the Mexican Community Center. So thank you, Ayala. That's right.
Efrain, Ayala.
Gonzales. Okay, I'm sorry. So great. So how long you been going to that organization?
Like 3 years, 2 months.
2 months. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for helping Ted, for reaching out to youth and helping out with the education and all that thing that we need more youth to be proactive and not just looking for trouble. You know that? So, and there anything the last thing you would like to say as we're ending our show?
Yes, I would like to end in saying again, thank you to Senor Doug Vigil and 92.1 on the KXVS on the FM community channel. I want to thank everyone who's listening, especially our elders who started the Mexican American Human Rights Organization along with Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez, Martin Luther King Jr. We want to thank everyone who's involved with the community. Special thank you to Christina Fugazi for helping with the library. We want to thank all those who stood up and collected signatures out over there in East Stockton. We want to thank everyone at the Harding Way, Wilson Way district who are stepping up and getting involved with their children. We want to also announce that we are located at 1632 East Harding Way, Stockton, California. The phone number is 209-603-3409. And you can also catch me at Gmail, Ted A. Gonzales 02@gmail.com. And we're going to, again, we want to end by saying thank you to all our brothers and sisters here in Stockton, California, Southern California, Arizona, and Miami. We'll be seeing you soon. And again, thank you, Mr. Vigil.
All right. Thank you for watching The Voice of Stockton, KXVS. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you, Joey, for helping us broadcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.
KXVS on 92.1. Coming soon.